Hey everybody, welcome back to the Air Warfare Group. I'm Juice. So, in keeping with the spirit of survival and rescue operations, for those of you who are coming back, thanks for coming and thanks for watching. I wanted to share something special with you guys today, something that I've been probably carrying. I haven't really carried it, but I've been collecting it since about 1983-84. And what I wanted to show you today is this blood chit. Now this one right here, I'll let you guys take a look at that real quick. So this blood chit we used to pack in the survival kits in Korea, and these in the early 80s, this basically was what the pilot, if they ejected over friendly territory, you know, because we were right up against the border with North Korea, this is the South Korean flag, this would show them that they are allies with South Korea, and it says in Korean, that's the language there, I think, the spelling is Hangul. And what it does is this basically says, and I don't know if you guys, this was loosely translated by one of my friends that speaks Korean, that from Korea, and she told me that this stands for, this is an American flying person. His health and well-being depends on your help. Please help him get back to friendly control to, you know, the U.S. authorities and stuff. And basically, I don't know if it promised a reward or if it said something about you will be rewarded for this, but basically this allows somebody that doesn't speak Korean that gets in an emergency situation when they have to eject out of their airplane to go and use this to get assistance and help. Now, this is basically, I guess you could call this a blood chit. It's a really primitive one. It's probably more just a little assistance for contacting locals when you're in a country that you don't speak the native language. Now, I did want to talk about blood chits. So let me give you a little history about blood chits. You know, you can look up blood chits on the internet. You'll see a ton of information out there and pictures and everything. And from what I found doing research and just checking up on it over the years, is most of it's pretty correct. I don't see any errors in it and everything. The only thing I would have to say is a lot of it is dated. So what you might see online is not what they do today. But I did find in a 2015 reference in the Joint Pub on personal recovery, I found a sample blood chit that is open source, unclassified, that you can see. And I'll hold it up there for you guys. Now this one, let me read it to you and I'll talk about it and everything. So this one is basically, it's got the American flag, and up at the corners, up in the top and in the bottom, it has a serial number, and these are controlled items. They're issued by intelligence or by the actual blood chit manager to units, and then the unit intelligence usually gives them to the pilots in part of their evasion packs when they go to war. And what it is this blood chit comes in Arabic, Persian or Farsi, Kurdish, Turkish, and English. And of course we don't need English if we're speaking English, but here's what it says. So it's written in these different languages, and I'll try to read it as perfect as I can. I need my reading glasses almost. It says, I'm an American and do not speak your language. I will not harm you. I bear no malice towards your people. My friend, please provide me with food, water, shelter, clothing, and necessary medical attention. Also, please provide safe passage to the nearest friendly forces or any country supporting the United States and their allies. You will be rewarded for assisting me when you present this number, and I presume you go ahead and cut off one of those corners and you give that number to the person that's going to make contact. My name to the American forces or American authorities. So basically the blood chit is kind of a contract where the person assisting you is going to be rewarded by the United States government and stuff. And I would have to say that the limitations with this, if you go and read in the Joint Pub 3-50, you'll read on personal recovery that, you know, some of the limitations are, if you're in an area where literacy is pretty low, you may not be able to use the blood chit as effectively. Something that's also included that we'll talk about in another session is in the evasion kit. We'll talk about the pointy talkie sheet, and I'll break down some of that when we talk about the next video. So again, I just wanted to share a little bit about your host here, Juice, and his history with blood chits, or the old form of blood chits. It's what's really cool is you can look up some of the Flying Tigers jackets that they used to have. You've seen the ones that had the Flying Tigers logo on it and everything. And supposedly those guys had blood chits, and you can even order bomber jackets and fighter jackets from companies today that have a blood chip or a blood chit or a sample blood chit in the back. So again, I'll give you another look at the Korean blood chit that I call it. I call this loosely a blood chip. This is what we packed in the survival packs over in Osan and Kunsan, and this allowed our pilots to communicate and get some help when they ejected. I hope you liked this video. If you guys did, be sure to share it with a friend and consider subscribing and liking. Coming up, we're going to try to continue in the series or in the theme of survival and rescue operations for a little bit. Tyro is getting time here and there to work on the next DCS Debrief Defensive BFM series, and so we're hoping to have that video out soon. And stay tuned for later for some more treats from other presenters like Takeda and possibly others. I appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Be safe out there. Bye.